Welcome to GDs, and this is Good Girls Season 2. Season 2 starts with Beth not being able to pull the trigger, so Rio takes the gun and shoots Dean and lets her know that now they are done. But luckily, Dean survives. On the other hand, Annie and her ex are dating again, and Stan, being angry and upset with Ruby, is sleeping on the couch. And we find out that the FBI has found an evidence at the robbery, and now they need a DNA sample to compare and confirm who it belongs to. Stan, getting to know about the evidence, tells Ruby the same, and he wants Ruby to turn herself in, as the first one to talk always gets the best deal, while Agent Turner asks Beth to come and give her DNA sample. Ruby is thinking of giving herself up, and as she goes to the police station, she notices the evidence truck moving the evidence, and instead of turning herself in, she gets back to the girls and they decide to rob the evidence truck and get rid of the cap. They plan the heist and are able to break in the truck, but can't find the cap and are unsuccessful. But it turns out that Stan was able to get it for them. While Mary Pat, getting to know the truth about Leslie, breaks up with him, and Leslie, blaming the girls, wants Agent Turner to go after them. Agent Turner, getting to know the presence of so much cash under him, wants him to testify against everyone, and Leslie agrees. And he uses this as a leverage against Mary Pat, and lets her know that when he will testify, she will also go to prison as she took money from them, and the only way he could save her if she marries him, and Mary Pat is forced to be with him. Rio finds out that Leslie has been talking with the feds, and he wants Beth to clean up the mess and gives her a gun, but Beth is not able to go through with it, and instead of killing him, they offer him money to go away. And being short on cash, Annie steals a car and they sell it for parts to get the money, but it turns out that he has double crossed them, and instead of going away, he goes into hiding with the help of Agent Turner and lets them know that he feels threatened for his life, but he is still willing to testify. But Rio tells Beth that he is still not gone. Girls, getting to know that he is not gone, try to find him, and Mary Pat calls and lures him in giving up his location, and as they go to his motel to take care of him, it turns out he had returned to Mary Pat's home, and he gets into an argument with her, and as she asks him to leave, he gets rough with her. In the morning, Mary Pat decides to leave with her kids, and Leslie tries to stop them, but in the process, Mary Pat hits him with his car and calls Beth for help. Mary Pat lets them know that she ran over Leslie a few times and chopped his body and put it in his freezer. They help out Mary Pat and disposes of the body, but while getting rid of the body, they find several messages from her grandmom on his phone. They are quite shaken and feel guilty about it, and Annie starts helping her out. On the other hand, Mary Pat goes to Agent Turner and lets him know that Leslie is missing. Being successful in getting rid of Leslie, Rio sends Beth a key to a storage unit, and she finds out that it is filled with fake cash, and Rio lets her know that it's all for her as he is moving out of this business. They are all scrapped for cash, with Ruby taking out multiple loans, while Dean losing a lot in his business again, and Bang taking most of the cars from his showroom. So they decide to clean some of the cash that Rio left them and get back on their feet. But it turns out they are unable to clean through their traditional methods, as the shops have caught on to their tricks and have now blacklisted them from shopping. Beth takes help from Dean, and they buy cars with fake cash and sell them for real, and they are back on their feet. Meanwhile, Annie's ex wants to leave his wife Nancy and get back with her, and Nancy finds out that he has been cheating, and Annie, getting to know about Nancy's pregnancy, decides to break off her relation again. Beth, doing well, being drunk, and not being appreciated by Dean, bumps in with Rio in a restaurant, and they make out in the washroom. Rio, seeing Beth getting a new alternative to clean cash, takes his capital back and forces himself into a new partnership with them, and now he is taking a cut of the profits. On the other hand, Ruby tells Stan everything, and Agent Turner is pushing Mary Pat to know the truth, and she throws the girls under the bus and lets him know that they ran Leslie over and disposed of his body. FBI starts to look for the body to build a case against the girls. Girls, learning that the FBI is looking for the body, go to Rio and wants him to take care of it. But Rio wants 200k to clean up the mess, and in order to raise the cash fast, they sell every car on discount in Dean's showroom and give the money to Rio, and he takes care of it. But instead of disposing of the body, he kept it for himself as leverage. Being successful in selling the cars, Beth now takes over the showroom and wants Dean to take care of the household. As things get back on track, Rio now wants them to deliver cars for him. Not sure what he is shipping, Beth tries to have a look in the cars and pops an airbag, and she finds pills to be stored in it. And Beth, moving forward, takes out all the pills before delivering the car. And when Rio gets to know this, Beth tells him that she wants a 50-50 partnership for the drugs as well. And they start earning good, and running out of place to store the cash, they dig up and bury it in Beth's backyard. Dean, being fed up with Rio, decides to hire assassins to take him out. But in the process, the assassins take advantage of him and get away with all their earnings. On the other hand, Agent Turner learns that one of the girl's husband is a cop, and knowing it to be a Stan, he invites himself over for dinner and pressures Ruby to come clean, else he will go after Stan and he will go to prison. Ruby, under a lot of pressure, decides to turn on Beth and steals information to give it to Agent Turner, but she is not able to go through with it and comes out clean with Beth and lets her know everything. And Agent Turner, not getting any information from Ruby, arrests Stan for evidence tampering, and losing all their earnings, now they don't have money to bail him out. So they decide to rob a quick cash counter, but it turns out that the safe is on a timer and won't open till the morning. So they grab hold of the cashier and take him with them and return back in the morning to get the cash and bail Stan out. Meanwhile, Annie has started dating her new boss, Nova, who is indeed an undercover FBI agent. She also told her daughter about her affair with her father, and she was quite upset. But when Annie was the one who helped Nancy deliver her baby, her anger went away. While Dean, feeling Beth not being there for him and the kids, leaves the house with the kids and goes to her mom's place. Beth, finding herself alone, goes for another one-night stand with Rio and then call it quits, and asks Dean to come back and lets him know that she is done with everything. Being out of business, they all get back in difficult financial times and go to get a shipment for him and are keeping Beth out of it, and use Ruby's daughter's school trip as the cover for the same. They get the shipment, but Ruby gets cold feet and took out the shipment before they reach the border. Nova, being in the life of Annie, knows that she is missing and they are getting ready to serve a warrant. Rio gives Beth a heads up of them being raided, and Beth is able to destroy the books but left out a piece behind, and they are safe for now. And as they think how the FBI knew to raid, Annie gets suspicious about Nova, and when she follows him, she finds out that he is indeed an FBI agent. Beth starts getting delivery of body parts from the body, which Rio has kept. She tried to ignore it first, but the shipments kept on coming, and Beth finally has to go to Rio, and he lets her know that they have to pay off a debt for the pills they lost, and gets them cleaning the cash again, and just like that they are back in business. But this time they have no way of doing it fast, as they have now even lost the car showroom since it has been sealed by the FBI. Annie is able to figure out that Rio has been keeping the body in their store's freezer, and they take it out and bury it in Beth's backyard. But on seeing the hair color, they suspect that it is not that of Leslie, and they look for Mary Pat to know the truth, and it turns out that the body was of a previous husband and he had a natural death, but in order to receive his paycheck, she never reported him dead. Mary Pat lets them know that she indeed hit Leslie, but when she got back to have a look at him, he was gone. Meanwhile, Nova is able to figure out that the strip of paper they recovered from the showroom has currency numbers on it, and they learn that apart from being drug smugglers, they are also money launderers. And now the FBI has a motive for them killing Leslie, and they don't need a body to prove their case anymore, and decide to go after them. Annie is able to figure out that Leslie has been staying with his grandmom, but he would only come out if they could get him money, and in order to get him money, they decide to rob a bank. And as they were going through with the plan, Beth calls it off at the last moment, as she was able to find out Rio's cash hideout. But even after showing Leslie the same, he was not willing to come out. Beth, seeing her friends in tremendous pressure, decides to confess to Leslie's murder. And when Agent Turner arrests her and takes her back to the station, they find out that Leslie was already there, and it turns out it was her grandmom who wanted him to show up. Beth returns home, only to be captured by Rio, who takes her to his hideout where he has tied Agent Turner and wants her to shoot him in order to get it over with. But this time, Beth is able to shoot, but shoots Rio and frees Agent Turner, who tells her to leave and get out of there. Agent Turner approaches Beth and lets her know that he is thankful to her and now she need not worry about anything as everything is over. And as the season ends, we learn Beth has able to figure out a way to make real looking fake cash, and they want to start on their own. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe.